2007, and I'm in the home of Jim Remlinger, and he's going to tell me about his experiences in World War II and some of his ancestors along with that. Thank you. Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, in combat, in Alsace-Lorraine, I was in combat there, and I heard from a friend of mine that the Remlingers were around there, and this guy was going to lead me to that to prove what he said. But I was marched through there so quick that I didn't get a chance to check it out. But that was Alsace-Lorraine, and that's where my grandfather Remlinger and family, all the family came over here to the United States. And
now, for a dummy like me, that is France, right?
yes.
Okay.
Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure where it belonged to German or the French.
Okay.
It's a small place.
Okay. Go ahead. Do you think of anything else there? How far back do you think your folks go here? You know what year they came over?
I think they came over here in about 1864.
Okay.
And
Most of them were settled here in Clark County. Okay.
well, and on my brother, he went to Canada, so there could be Remlingers there too,
Okay.
by the same name.
Okay. But now you were drafted and went in World War II, and we've got your story here. Is there some other things that you want to add maybe to that?
Not really. Well, I mean, here we'd be here all day.
Okay.
There's many stories to tell, you know what I mean.
Okay.
But most of them is pretty much in what here.
All right. Let me ask you this: Did you serve when you were drafted? Were you with some more Clark County fellows with you, or when you got there you were all mixed up? I don't know if you're in there, but did somebody leave here with you from Marshall beside yourself?
Not yeah, there was guys that we went to Chicago to be inducted.
From Marshall.
Yes.
Okay.
And a lot of those didn't make it.
Didn't make it
I
through.
mean, they wasn't accepted.
Okay. And in your unit, then, was there anybody from here beside yourself?
No.
No, you're the only one. Okay. Well, when you're overseas, then, did you ever run into anybody from Clark County?
Well, I met Cleo Reisner in England. We were both there at the same time, and we knew that there was going to be an invasion. And I got to see him, and we were training for amphibious landing. And then he told me his brother was there. They called him Bud. You remember him?
No, I'm sorry, I don't.
Well, anyway,
Somebody out here will, though.
it's in here.
Yeah, somebody remember.
We were on alert to go to the invasion, and I walked 10 miles. We were on the alert at that time, and I had to see the captain so I could go see this guy, Bud, Cleo's brother. And I walked 10 miles, which was nothing. And anyway, I got to see him, and he brought me back to where I was, where I took off from, and but I got a ride, so I didn't have to walk back.
There you go. Okay.
And we were after that, we were on our way for the invasion.
That you've got in your story.
Yes.
Okay. I don't want to say embarrass you or anything else, but being a Civil War nut, I know the fellows in the Civil War call it seeing the elephant. When you first went into combat, I know you were scared. What can you tell these people what your experiences were like there when you knew that this was a real thing, that they're shooting at you and you had to shoot back? When you first seen the first German there, can you describe that feeling to someone there?
Well, by the way, Cleo and I was talking about things many years after we'd been back home, and we probably went ashore at Normandy invasion in France. Although there were so many guys at the time, I couldn't. He didn't know I was going in, and I didn't know about him. I think he was in the First Army maybe, and I was with the First Army, I think, for the invasion. But then in July, General Patton came in, and I was in the Third Army then, and with him.
Okay. Now, that you were in the Battle of the Bulge then?
Yes, I was.
Can you other than what you've got written down, have you thought of any other thing that you want to share with somebody in the future? Maybe they're looking for that. I know we've seen that on television and all, but well, it had to have been cold, wasn't it? Had to have been terrible cold there.
Yeah, 17 degrees below zero.
Below zero, yeah.
And we were sleeping on the ground.
Yeah.
And we was blue in the face. We was so cold. I almost froze to death there.
Wait, I believe you. And they're shooting at you on all sides. Had you surrounded? And
Well, we even, the danger was there too. Not only the enemy, was our own planes would come in on us, and we had a color code. It was probably
3 feet long.
Well, no, it was real big, the square itself.
Oh, it's
And we had to change color every day because our own planes was coming in. It was on the front line, and a lot of times we had to be ready to knock them out, our own. And I guess maybe I don't have in here. I think this might have been in France. I'm not certain, but anyway, there was 500 guys that was killed on the front lines. I was on the front line at the same time, and our guns weren't set just right. And there was 500. I think it was about 500 guys that we actually killed. I say we. I didn't know that I did, but I say we because
You're talking about the enemy now. The enemy you're talking about now. When you said
no, our guys.
500 of our men. Okay.
With our own guns.
Right. Oh, fine. Yes.
But of course that didn't get out. It didn't come back here.
Yeah.
That wasn't. Those things you had to keep quiet even for the rest of the guys around because to know that I was on the front lines with Patton. Well, I could say he was with me. I was with him.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about him? Did you?
He was a leader.
Okay.
He believed that you don't sit still, that you go after the enemy.
Yeah.
We got surrounded. I don't have this in here. We got surrounded one time, and we wondered if we was ever going to get out of it, but we did. We was so tired that, at that time, and I think it was raining, and we were a spearhead division.
Okay.
And I was in the front line for 11 months, and you do nothing but attack.
Did you? I haven't read your story when we're doing this. Did you come into some concentration camps? Did you ever see those or any other type prison camps yourself?
If I did, it was only just to see them and go on by.
Okay, you didn't.
Because we didn't have time to stop at some places.
You're pushing the enemy back.
Because we were spearhead division, and all we're doing is forward all the time.
Okay.
And Patton made certain that we could just keep on going because he'd get right up there with you.
Yeah.
Not every day, but I saw him 4 or 5 times.
Okay.
And
I'm not rushing anything. If you can add on anything we're thinking about, but before I forget it, what was the feeling when you came back? They treated you as a hero, didn't they? There wasn't any of the thing like Vietnam feeling when you come back when the war was over. You guys were all heroes, right?
well, I guess you could say that.
Well, they didn't have the bad feeling that they did to some of the soldiers during the Vietnam conflict,
Yeah,
where they ignored you or
That was terrible.
spit
The
on
way,
you and so
the way
forth.
that was.
Yeah, it wasn't that feeling at all.
When I came back, as soon as I got back to the United prepared,
Yeah, don't be caught again like.
and any
like-
soldier I think could say the same thing.
Yeah.
Once you've been in battle.
Okay. What'd you miss most being over there? A big dinner or what? I'm just curious what you. Other than being out of there.
It tells in here what we did do. We couldn't always get something to eat because we were a spearhead division and we were going all the time, and the guys sometimes couldn't get the food up to us.
Right.
So the very first thing that we did, we killed a little calf, and we got ready to cook it, and we got march order. So what did we do? We just picked that up and put it in the truck and went on. See, we sometimes would be moving that way because we had a big gun that had to pull, the truck had to pull that. And so when we finally got to where we could sit down and cook that meat, we was pretty hungry by that time. And then the next thing, one time when we didn't have any food, we pulled into an area where we were going to get with some other guys as well, and there was one old pig in there that was the only animal around, and we were hungry. So somebody was a butcher, so they killed that hog, hung it up, skinned it, and we were having meat that evening.
Yeah.
We didn't give it.
Yeah.
We didn't give it any time.
Yeah.
Because we was hungry.
Yeah.
We could eat anything.
Yeah.
And if we knew there was chickens around, we figured, well, whenever we pull into an area, we really jump off of that truck immediately if we heard those chickens, and we knew there'd be maybe some eggs.
There you go.
And usually, always, we got enough for each one of us.
Okay. Well, you think of anything else that somebody'd be interested in?
Oh, I can't think of anything.
I'm curious. I know the supply's moving up, and you're in the beginning, or I'm up ahead. Could we use their gas, or was it a different quality than our vehicles would have took? When you could you have drained the German Panzers or something, got gas from like that to put in our equipment?
Well, I would say we didn't do it. In August of, I think it was 44, we were to go into let's see, I think that's the name of it.
It's France, I think.
Yeah, and that was in August of 44, and we had to stop moving until we got gas. That was in August of 44, and we were supposed to go in and take this place, and we didn't get in there till November. It was August that we were held up because we didn't have any gas for the tanks. Didn't have any gas for us either. And we didn't get in there until November. That's how much it held us up. Just because we were out of gas.
Oh, yeah. Well, again, do you think the gas quality of what the Germans had would have worked in our equipment?
Well, I really don't know.
Evidently, it wouldn't have. Of course, if you got held up, because I'm sure that Patton would have confiscated.
He would have went after it.
He would have confiscated whatever they had.
Oh yeah.
So it must have been a difference there somewhere that I don't know about. Okay. Well, I'm not doing a very good job of interviewing you, or you're doing great yourself. Did you ever see any other important figure like Eisenhower or any other so-called celebrity then?
I saw all other officers, but I can't remember who. You know, the ones that they wouldn't have been with us anyway because we were spearhead
Getting up
division,
in there, okay.
going up, moving every day.
Yeah, they weren't that close in.
Every day.
Yeah. Well, do you remember taking any prisoners?
Yeah, we took prisoners, but I could tell some stories too about that. What others did, I didn't do it. But when we take prisoners, we'd want to find out, what's going on their side, and if they didn't, if they didn't tell us, why, there was guys in the infantry that I was in the infantry too, but I didn't do any of this. These guys, to get them to talk, you take the butt of the rifle and hit them right in the head.
Yeah.
And usually they would give you some information.
Yeah.
And I heard that some of our guys killed some of the enemy that way.
Yeah.
But if there was a lot of guys that were prisoners, I don't think they killed any of them.
Yeah.
But to get information, they would do just like what I said.
It's just like Sherman says, war is hell.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was scared every day.
Yeah.
Every day. When we'd have action, and when they pinned us down with artillery, or if the planes was coming in on us, even our own planes, because we were afraid that they were going to
Cut 'em short.
loose on us.
Yeah.
The only thing that saved us was our big colored code of the day, the color of the day, and it was changed every day.
Jim, now where did you put that? Was that on the vehicle?
Yeah.
On the roof?
In the truck.
On the top of the truck?
Yeah, usually.
Okay. Well, I understand. I've got a small German flag that has rays on it, and I understand that the Germans did the same thing, put that on a house that they didn't want their own Luftwaffe to hit, and I assume that's the same deal. They're on the vehicles.
But it was the reason we were so scared. We didn't want to shoot at our own planes, but we were set up for it, and if they let off, well, then we knew that they recognized us.
Yeah.
But that went on so many times that you get to the place. As I was going to tell you, every time that we got pinned down with artillery fire, or their planes coming in on us, we were so scared that we couldn't talk. We knew what to do, to start out with, because we was trained.
Yeah.
But after the action, a lot of times, that was almost regular. We couldn't talk for quite some time because we couldn't even hardly whisper. That's how scared I was.
Well, let's see. Hope we've covered everything to make everybody happy. I'll think of things later on. Let me cut this. Well, Jim, I appreciate what you're saying here, and I suppose if we find more things, I suppose we can write them down and get them on tape. Thank you. Jim, what? I just thought of something there. Now you used a Grand. You using the Grand, the M1 Grand? Was that what you were using? You carried a Grand. What kind of rifle did you carry?
I don't know. I forget the name of it right now.
The semi-automatic. You don't remember? Okay. Well, in your unit,
I was on a. We were set up. The big gun that we were on was to try to knock the enemy's plane out of the sky.
okay,
And we were also set up for anti-tank. We had armor that would stop a tank, maybe.
Okay, you were actually with the you weren't doing the foot soldier's job. You were with the artillery then.
Yeah, I was artillery, but and we were attached to the infantry or they might have been attached to us, whichever way.
Right.
And they were right up on the front line, and we were right up there with them.
So most of the time,
So I call myself infantry too.
but your job wasn't to fire a rifle really at the enemy. You're to use the guns, big guns, right?
Well, we could fire our guns too, right to the enemy.
Okay, so you
On
maybe
the
had a
front line.
carbine, maybe a carbine. Sometimes
Some of them had those, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I thought of something else there. Reason I started again. I suppose after you're up there just a little while, you could recognize some of the rounds coming toward you. Like I hear, see the German 88s from the tanks. You could hear those, and you knew by the sound of that what they were after a while.
Yes.
And other guns the same way. As I see the World War II tapes, I see the rat-tat-tat of the machine guns, and they had several type of machine guns. I assume you could probably pick those out after a while. and
That
say-
they were the Germans.
Yeah.
Yes, we could tell by we could tell, and almost every night, if we was trying to get some sleep, we could hear them. We could hear the enemy guns fired.
Okay.
Sometimes they'd slip over into our lines and try to kill anybody that they could, but we were sending out the same as they were sending out to us. We were sending out to them. See how many Germans you could kill.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, we think anything else, Jim?
And the way the Germans did, I think I told you this story the other day about they would, where there's a lot of cows or horses or whatever, well, this would be at night, usually always at night. So the Germans would have these cows to take off, and so they could rouse us. You know, we'd probably shoot at them because it's dark. It's so dark you couldn't see what was coming. We thought it was maybe the German soldiers or whatever, and they were doing that so they could try to draw where we're at,
Yeah.
and then they could come right on in on
With the
us.
big guns.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Along that line, I just dawned on me. Did you ever see any of the Germans dressed as our soldiers?
Yes. That was in the Battle of the Bulge.
Yeah.
That was where I didn't have the password, and I've got it down in here.
Okay. That's good. Good. And then, of course, were you kind of in camouflage with white, or did just Germans have those?
They had our clothes right down. They had everything that we had.
Okay.
Our colors, I mean.
What about the white uniforms though? Is that just Germans, or did we have those too? I know they snuck up on some of us with white on. Did some of you have white stuff? I'm saying, sure, you're laying in the snow, you'd be half white anyway.
Well, I don't think we had any issued to us,
No, okay.
but we did find some things that belonged to the German, and some of their sheepskin, and boy, we really took after those.
Yeah, that's what
That was during the time, I think, of the Battle of the Bulge.
Okay.
So they came in handy.
Yeah.
I think they kept us from freezing to death.
Okay. Well, we'll cut it off again, I guess. Thanks, Jim.